Hello there, and welcome to this quiet corner of the cosmos. I'm so glad you found your way here tonight. Perhaps the world outside has been a little too loud, or perhaps your mind is simply searching for a place to rest among the stars. Whatever brought you here, know that you are exactly where you need to be. You have nothing left to do today, no problems to solve, and nowhere else to be. Before we begin our journey through the gentle history of our home planet, if these calm explorations help you find peace, a quiet tap on the subscribe button would mean a great deal to me. It is a small gesture, but it helps keep this tiny universe alive and ensures these stories continue to find their way to gentle hearts like yours. Now, let us begin. Take a deep, slow breath in. Feel the air fill your lungs, the very same air that has been cycled through the history of our world for billions of years. As you exhale, let the weight of your body sink into the surface beneath you. Imagine gravity softening, becoming a gentle embrace rather than a heavy pull. Your breathing is steady, your mind is open. Tonight, we aren't looking at the Earth as a place of maps, borders, or busy streets. Instead, we are looking at it as a cosmic miracle, a sapphire cradle drifting through the velvet dark. We often think of the ground beneath us as permanent and still. But in reality, we are passengers on a magnificent vessel, voyaging through an infinite ocean of stars. Close your eyes and let the image of the world as it is now fade away. We are going to travel back, long before the first heartbeat, to a time when the Earth was nothing more than a dream held in the hands of gravity. We will explore the silent truths of our existence, the way we spin, the way we are protected, and the way we are all, quite literally, made of the stars that came before us. The universe is vast, and sometimes it can feel cold, but here, in the glow of our home, everything is balanced, everything is exactly as it should be. Let the rhythm of my voice be your guide, as we drift away from the noise of the everyday and into the relaxing reality of the planet we call home. You are safe, you are at peace, and the journey is just beginning. Chapter 1. The Alchemy of Ancient Stars. Close your eyes and let your mind drift back, far beyond the memory of cities, forests, or even the first sunrise. To understand the ground beneath you, we must first look to the silence that preceded it. Before our Earth was a solid sphere, it was a dream held within a vast, swirling cloud of gas and dust, a stellar nursery drifting in the cold velvet of the deep cosmos. This was not empty space. It was a graveyard and a cradle combined into one. Billions of years ago, a massive, ancient star reached the end of its long life. In a final, magnificent exhale, it collapsed and then exploded into a supernova, scattering its inner riches across the void. Every heavy element that makes up your world, the iron in the Earth's core, the oxygen you breathe, and the very calcium in your bones, was forged in the heart of that dying star. You are resting on the gathered remnants of a celestial ancestor. Imagine those tiny grains of stardust, glowing faintly in the dark, dancing in a slow, gravitational ballet. They were patient. They spent millions of years drifting, waiting for the gentle nudge of gravity to begin the long process of coming together. As you lie there, feel that same gravity today. It is no longer a violent force of explosion, but a soft, steady weight that anchors you to the bed. In the early days of our solar system, this force was a quiet architect. It began to pull those scattered grains of dust toward a common center. Slowly, a disk began to form a rotating whirlpool of matter, glowing with the heat of friction and the promise of something new. In the center, our sun began to wake, consuming the lion's share of the cloud. But at the edges, in the cooler shadows, small clumps of rock and ice began to collide. These were not hard, jarring impacts. In the vastness of space, these collisions were slow, deliberate unions, two pebbles becoming a stone, two stones becoming a boulder. For millions of years, the Earth was growing in the dark, gathering the silver, the gold, and the silicate from the ruins of the stars. It was a time of immense heat and chaotic beauty. The young Earth was a molten sea, glowing a soft, fiery red against the blackness of space. It was liquid and fluid, like a drop of water suspended in a void, slowly finding its perfect spherical shape under the guiding hand of physical laws. As the surface began to cool, a thin crust formed, like ice over a pond in winter. This was the first skin of our world. Deep beneath that skin, the heavy metals sank toward the center, creating a beating heart of molten iron, while the lighter rocks rose to form the continents we walk upon today. It is a profound thought to hold as you drift toward sleep. The very bed you lie on, the walls around you, and the body you inhabit are all composed of recycled starlight. We are the universe, looking back at itself, a collection of ancient fragments that have found a way to become a home. Everything was settling. The chaos was subsiding into a rhythmic, cooling stability. The fiery red glow was fading into a calm, stony gray, waiting for the next transformation. The foundation was laid, the stage was set, and the great vessel was finally ready to take its place in the celestial order. But a planet is more than just a stationary rock, it is a traveler. And even as the crust hardened and the air began to thin, the Earth was preparing for its next great feat, a journey of motion that would never truly cease. As we leave the fiery origins of our world behind, we begin to feel the first stirrings of a movement so vast and so smooth that it defies the senses, carrying us away from the birth of matter and into the silent, eternal glide of the heavens. Chapter 2. The Gathering of Stardust. Allow your mind to drift back even further now, into the deep, echoing silence of the primordial solar system. In the previous chapter, we witnessed the explosive birth of the elements, the scattering of starlight that would one day become your skin, your breath, and the very ground you rest upon. But a scattering of dust is not yet a home. For a world to form, there must be a gathering, a slow, patient assembly directed by the invisible hands of the universe. Imagine yourself floating now in that ancient dark, surrounded by a vast, shimmering cloud of gas and debris. This is the solar nebula, a swirling whirlpool of potential, light years wide, turning with a rhythm that predates time. In this space, there is no up or down, only the gentle, persistent tug of gravity. It is the weakest of the fundamental forces, yet it is the most patient. It began as a whisper, a tiny vibration in the void. Every speck of dust, every microscopic grain of silicate and ice possessed a tiny gravitational signature. At first, it seemed like nothing was happening. For thousands of years, these particles drifted through the haze, occasionally brushing against one another in the dark. But in the physics of the cosmos, every contact matters. 2 grains of dust collide and stick together, held by static electricity. They become a slightly larger grain. This larger grain now has a stronger gravitational pull, reaching out just a little bit further into the void to claim its neighbors. Visualize this process as a slow-motion dance. Millions upon millions of tiny sparks of matter moving in a grand, circular orbit around the newborn Sunday. This was not a violent process yet. It was a gradual accumulation. The cloud was thinning, settling into a flat, rotating disk much like the rings of Saturn, but on a scale that spanned the entire horizon. You are watching the transition from chaos to order. As these clumps grew, they became pebbles, then boulders, and eventually objects miles wide called planetesimals. These were the building blocks of the Earth. Imagine the sensation of being one of these early fragments. You are moving through a sea of velvet blackness, illuminated only by the distant, angry glow of the young sun in the center of the disk. There is a profound peace in this slow accumulation, The earth was not built in a day, nor a million years. It was gathered, grain by grain, over an epoch of silent patience. Each collision brought with it a tiny burst of heat, a small gift of energy. As the earth-to-be grew larger, it became a vacuum cleaner of the cosmos, sweeping its orbital path clean, drawing in everything that dared to drift too close. This was a time of great selection. The lighter gases, like hydrogen and helium, were being pushed outward by the sun's fierce solar winds, destined to become the gas giants like Jupiter and Saturn. But the heavier materials, the iron, the nickel, the magnesium, remained close to the fire. They were the survivors. They were the solid foundation. Feel the weight of that heavy metal settling now. As the proto-Earth reached a certain mass, something miraculous happened. The pressure at its center became so intense, and the heat from a billion collisions so great, that the interior began to melt. The Earth was no longer just a pile of cold rubble. It was becoming a living geological entity. The heavy iron began to sink, a slow, metallic rain falling toward the center of the sphere, creating the core. The lighter rocks floated to the surface, forming a molten ocean of magma. Even in this fiery state, there is a deep, rhythmic stability. The planet was finding its balance. It was smoothing its surface, pulling itself into a perfect sphere under the relentless guidance of its own gravity. You can almost feel the warmth of that ancient, internal fire, the same heat that still lingers miles beneath your feet tonight, keeping our world alive and active. As the eons passed, the rain of debris began to slow. The neighborhood was becoming quiet. The earth had claimed its territory. It stood as a lonely, glowing ember in the dark, a finished sculpture made of recycled stars. The dust had settled. The assembly was complete. But a silent, still rock is not yet a sanctuary. To become the world we know, this sphere needed more than just a solid foundation. It needed the grace of motion. It needed to find its pace in the cosmic clockwork to begin the eternal journey that defines our days and nights. And so, as the heat of creation begins to radiate away into the cold vacuum, the earth prepares to find its rhythm. It is ready to tilt, to turn, and to begin the silent, effortless glide that carries us through the sky even as we sleep. We move now from the gathering of matter to the beauty of momentum, where the stillness of the earth is revealed to be the most beautiful illusion of all. Chapter 3. The Symphony of Unfelt Motion. As your mind begins to settle from the fiery imagery of our planet's birth, I want you to focus on the stillness you feel right now. You are lying in your bed, perhaps feeling the cool touch of the sheets or the soft weight of a blanket. To your physical senses, you are perfectly stationary. The walls of your room are solid, the floor is unmoving, and the air around you seems to hang in a quiet, undisturbed hush. But this stillness is perhaps the most beautiful illusion the universe has ever crafted for us. Beneath this mask of tranquility, you are currently a passenger on a voyage of staggering proportions. As we speak, the Earth is performing a series of complex, high-speed maneuvers that would be terrifying if they weren't so incredibly smooth. This is the silent spin, the momentum we inherited from that swirling cloud of stardust we explored in the previous chapters. Focus first on the rotation of the Earth beneath you. Imagine the planet as a giant, graceful top, spinning on its invisible axis. At this very moment, depending on where you are resting on the globe, you are being carried eastward at a speed of up to 1,000 miles per hour. If you were to stand at the equator, you would be racing faster than the speed of sound. Yet, because the atmosphere travels with us, and because the motion is so perfectly constant, we feel not even a tremor. There is no wind of passage, no vibration of the engine, just the silent, rhythmic transition from light into shadow. Picture the Terminator line, the soft, fuzzy border between day and night moving across the surface of the world. As you drift closer to sleep, You are literally rotating away from the sun, dipping into the cooling shade of the Earth's own shadow. This rotation is our heartbeat. It is what gives us the gift of the sunset, the cooling of the evening air, and the deep, restorative dark that invites us to rest. Feel the world turning. Do not think of it as a dizzying spin, but as a slow, majestic roll, like a great ship turning toward the harbor. You are being cradled by the momentum of 4 billion years. But the spin is only the beginning of our journey. While we turn on our axis, we are also hurtling through the vacuum of space in a grand, elliptical loop around the Sunday. Imagine the Earth not as a lonely rock, but as a celestial dancer held in a gravitational embrace. We are traveling along our orbital path at 67,000 miles per hour. In the time it takes you to take one deep, slow breath, we have traveled 18 miles through the void. Visualize the Earth as a sapphire marble, trailing a faint wake of stardust as it glides through the solar system. There are no tracks, no cables, and no friction to slow us down. We are falling through space in a perfect, eternal curve, falling just fast enough that we never hit the sun, but held tightly enough that we never drift away into the freezing dark. This is the balance of the heavens. It is a motion so pure that it produces no sound. Extend your awareness even further now, beyond our local neighborhood. Our sun itself is not stationary. It is a star among billions, and it is currently racing through the Milky Way galaxy at nearly 500,000 miles per hour. It carries us along with it, like a mother bird carrying its young. We are spiraling through the galactic disk, moving through vast clouds of interstellar gas and passing the distant ghosts of other stars. And even the Milky Way itself is drifting, pulled by the gravity of even larger structures in the deep web of the universe. When you add all these motions together, the spin, the orbit, the galactic drift, you realize that you have never been in the same place twice. Every second of your life, you are occupying a completely new coordinate in the infinite expanse of the cosmos. You are a traveler of the highest order, voyaging across millions of miles every single day, all while remaining perfectly safe and tucked into your bed. Let this thought wash over you like a gentle tide. You do not need to do anything to sustain this motion. You do not need to steer. You do not need to worry about the speed. The universe has provided the momentum, and gravity has provided the seatbelt. You are simply along for the ride. The stillness you feel is the universe's way of allowing you to rest while the great work of travel continues. As we contemplate this effortless glide through the dark, we begin to realize that we aren't just moving through space. We are a part of the very system that sustains us. The motion of our planet doesn't just give us day and night. It drives the cycles of our atmosphere and the shifting of the seas. It is a great planetary engine of recycling, where nothing is ever truly lost. And as we drift further into the silence of our orbital path, we begin to look closer at the world itself, not just as a vessel of motion, but as a living laboratory of transformation, where the dust of the stars is constantly being breathed into life. We move now from the grand scale of the heavens to the intimate miracle of the Earth's own breath, where the ancient elements we gathered are woven into the tapestry of the living world. Chapter 4. The Great Recycler. Take a long, slow breath. As the air enters your body, consider for a moment where it has been. The oxygen filling your lungs isn't new. It is a traveler, a veteran of 1 billion cycles, moving through the lungs of ancient creatures, drifting over prehistoric oceans, and resting in the deep green silence of forests that existed long before the first human footstep. This is the secret of our world. Earth is not just a vessel moving through space. It is a magnificent closed-loop system, a great recycler that ensures nothing is ever truly wasted, and nothing is ever truly lost. In the previous chapters, we saw how the Earth was gathered from the dust of dying stars. But that stardust didn't just settle and become stagnant. It became a living, breathing part of a planetary metabolism. Imagine the Earth as a grand, slow-motion engine. The very minerals that make up the Rocky Mountains are the same minerals that, through the patient work of wind and water, eventually crumble into soil. That soil feeds the roots of the oak tree, which transforms the earth into wood and leaf. The leaf falls, decays, and returns to the ground, only to be reborn as something else. Even you, in this very moment, are a temporary gathering of these recycled elements. The carbon in your heart might have once been part of a limestone cliff. The iron in your blood might have once sat at the very center of the planet's molten core. This recycling happens on a scale so vast it is almost impossible to comprehend. Deep beneath the ocean floor, the Earth's crust is constantly being renewed. In a process called subduction, the cold, heavy plates of the sea floor slowly slide beneath the continents, sinking back into the hot, glowing mantle. There, the solid rock melts, becoming fluid once more, enriched by the minerals and carbon of the surface. Eventually, this molten rock rises again through volcanic veins, cooling to form new land, new islands, and new possibilities. The Earth is constantly eating itself and rebirthing itself, a phoenix made of stone and fire. Visualize the water of our world. Every drop of water you have ever tasted is as old as the planet itself. It has been frozen in polar caps, evaporated into the high, thin atmosphere, and fallen as gentle rain on 1,000 different centuries. It is the ultimate nomad. It flows through the veins of the world, carving canyons and nourishing life, always changing its shape, but never its essence. As you lie there, imagine the water in your own cells as a tiny piece of the global ocean, currently resting within you before it continues its eternal journey. There is a profound comfort in this cycle. It reminds us that we are deeply physically connected to the history of this planet. We are not separate from the Earth. We are the Earth in motion. The Great Recycler ensures that the legacy of the stars, those ancient elements we discussed, is kept in constant creative use. The planet doesn't just hold us. It weaves us into its own ongoing story. Every atom is a keepsake from the dawn of time, passed from one form to another in a silent, graceful handoff. As we contemplate this interconnected web of matter, we begin to see that the Earth is not just efficient, it is exquisitely precise. It doesn't just recycle its materials, it positions them with incredible care. The very fact that these cycles can exist, that water stays liquid and life can find a foothold, is due to a delicate placement in the cosmic dark. We are moving now from the internal workings of the planet to its external surroundings, looking at the invisible boundaries that define our existence. Our journey leads us away from the cycles of soil and sea and toward the silent, empty spaces of the solar system, where we find that the Earth has been placed in a very specific, very quiet corner of the universe. We move now toward the golden mean, the perfect balance of light and shadow that allows the great recycler to keep turning, day after night after day. Chapter 5. The Goldilocks Sanctuary. As the grand, ancient cycles of stardust and recycling settle into the background of your mind, I want you to lean into the silence. We have explored how the Earth was built and how it breathes, but now we must look at where it sits. In the vast, terrifyingly cold desert of the universe, our planet occupies a space of impossible precision. Astronomers often call this the Goldilocks Zone, a region around a star that is neither too hot nor too cold, but just right. But tonight, let us think of it as our cosmic sanctuary, a soft pocket of light and warmth carved out of the infinite dark. Imagine yourself drifting away from the Earth's surface, moving past the clouds and the thin veil of the atmosphere, until the planet looks like a glowing marble suspended in a velvet void. As you pull back, You begin to see the sun, not as the blinding disk we see from the ground, but as a steady, golden anchor in the distance. The distance between us and that star is approximately 93 million miles. It is a distance that sounds incomprehensible, yet it is a distance of absolute perfection. If we were just a few million miles closer, the heat would be too intense for the great recycler to function. The oceans we discussed would boil away into steam, leaving a scorched, airless wasteland. If we were just a few million miles further away, the Earth would become a silent, frozen tomb of ice. Instead, we are precisely where we need to be. This positioning allows water to exist in three states: as solid ice at the poles, as life-giving liquid in the basins, and as soft vapor in the air. This triple nature of water is the heartbeat of our planet, and it is only possible because of our specific seat in the solar theater. As you lie in the warmth of your room, realize that this warmth is a localized echo of that cosmic balance. You are existing within a narrow sliver of habitability, a thin, golden ribbon that winds its way around our Sunday. But the sanctuary is more than just a matter of distance. It is also a matter of companionship. Look toward our moon, drifting in its slow, tidal dance. The moon is not just a poetic light in the night sky. It is a stabilizer. Its gravity acts like a steadying hand on a spinning top, keeping the Earth's tilt constant. Without the moon, the Earth would wobble violently on its axis over millions of years, causing the climate to swing from extreme heat to devastating cold. The moon ensures that our seasons remain predictable and that the rhythm of life remains steady. Even tonight, the moon is pulling gently on the Earth's oceans, and perhaps, in some small, subtle way, it is pulling on you to a rhythmic, gravitational lullaby that has been singing for billions of years. Further out in the dark, we have larger guardians. Consider the giant planet Jupiter, the heavyweight protector of our inner sanctuary. With its massive gravity, Jupiter acts as a cosmic vacuum cleaner, drawing in or redirecting stray asteroids and comets that might otherwise find their way to our doorstep. We live in a neighborhood that has been carefully swept, allowing us the peace and time required for life to flourish and for you to rest. In this sanctuary, there is no such thing as a coincidence. Everything is a result of a beautiful, delicate alignment. The thickness of our air, the strength of our gravity, and the chemical composition of our soil all work in a silent, invisible harmony. It is as if the universe conspired to create a place where consciousness could finally sit down and close its eyes. You are not an accidental visitor in a hostile void. You are the cherished guest of a world that was prepared for you over eons. As you drift deeper into this sense of safety, let the vastness of space stop being a source of wonder and start being a source of comfort. The dark is not empty. It is a protective barrier. The distance is not a separation. It is a shield. You are tucked away in the most hospitable corner of the known universe, wrapped in layers of atmosphere and held by the steady grip of a perfect orbit. The Earth is quiet now. The sun's light is reaching out to other parts of the globe, while your side remains in the restorative shadow of the sanctuary. But even in this shadow, we are never truly vulnerable. Our home has one final layer of defense, a hidden structure that we cannot see with our eyes, but which guards our very lives every second of the day. As we move from the physical placement of our planet to the invisible forces that surround it, we prepare to enter the final veil. We are drifting now toward the unseen architecture of the world, the silent, magnetic embrace that stands between us and the raw power of the stars. We move from the sanctuary of light into the sanctuary of force, where the Earth's hidden heart creates a shield of pure, invisible energy. Chapter 6. The Invisible Embrace. As you settle deeper into the quiet sanctuary of your room, let your mind drift toward the unseen. We have journeyed through the tangible history of our world, the gathering of stardust, the rhythmic spin of the planet, the constant recycling of life, and our fortunate placement in the sun's golden glow. But there is a final layer to our home, a hidden architecture that works in total silence to ensure your safety as you sleep. This is the invisible embrace of the Earth, the magnetic and gravitational forces that act as the planet's final, most intimate guardians. Imagine, for a moment, that you could see with more than just human eyes. If you could see the magnetic fields flowing out from the Earth, you would perceive a vast, shimmering cocoon of energy. Deep, deep beneath your feet, thousands of miles below the crust we discussed, lies the Earth's outer core. It is a sea of molten iron and nickel, churning and flowing like a subterranean sun. As this liquid metal moves, it generates electricity, which in turn creates a massive magnetic field that reaches out far beyond our atmosphere and into the cold reaches of space. This field is our magnetosphere, and it is our primary shield against the raw, unfiltered power of the universe. The sun, while our source of life, also exhales a constant stream of high-energy particles, known as the solar wind. Without our magnetic embrace, this wind would strip away our atmosphere, boiling off our oceans and leaving the Earth as dry and barren as the moon. But as these particles race toward us, they strike our invisible shield. They are deflected, flowing around the Earth like water around a smooth stone in a stream. Some are channeled toward the poles, where they collide with the upper atmosphere to create the dancing curtains of light we call the auroras. Even now, while you lie in the dark, this silent battle is being fought on your behalf. The Earth is holding back the fury of the stars so that your breath remains steady and your world remains whole. Feel the profound stability of this protection. It is a force that never tires, a shield that never sleeps. And within this magnetic shell, there is another force, even more intimate: gravity. We often think of gravity as a weight, a burden that makes our limbs heavy at the end of a long day. But tonight, I want you to reframe it. Think of gravity as the Earth's way of holding you close. It is the invisible thread that connects every atom of your body to the heart of the planet. Gravity is what keeps the atmosphere pressed against the surface, ensuring there is air for you to breathe in the morning. It is what keeps the moon in its stabilizing orbit and the oceans in their deep basins. As you relax each muscle, from your forehead down to your toes, you are surrendering to this embrace. You are letting the Earth take your weight. You do not need to hold yourself up. The planet is doing that for you. You are anchored to a vessel that has survived billions of years of cosmic history, held fast by laws of physics that are as old as time itself. Visualize these two forces, the magnetic shield reaching out into the stars and the gravitational pull holding you to the Earth as a double layer of peace. You are encased in a fortress of natural law. In this space, the chaos of the outside world cannot reach you. The pressures of tomorrow are distant and irrelevant. There is only the hum of the core, the reach of the shield, and the steady, ancient pull of the ground. You are a part of this system. Just as the iron in the core creates the shield, the iron in your blood responds to the world around you. You are not a stranger here. You are a native of this sanctuary. The Earth knows you are here. It carries you through the dark, protects you from the void, and provides the silent, steady platform for your dreams. As we conclude this exploration of our invisible guardians, let the weight of your body become one with the weight of the world. The journey through the facts of our planet has brought us back to this single, quiet moment. The history of the stars, the alchemy of the elements, and the mechanics of the heavens have all converged to create this specific night, this specific breath, and this specific peace. The story of the Earth is a story of coming home, and as the narration fades into the gentle ambient hum of the cosmos, you realize that you are already there. The voyage continues, the planet turns, and the shield holds, but for now, your only task is to let go. The cosmic cradle is rocking slowly in the dark. The stars are distant and bright, watching over the sapphire marble as it glides through the velvet night. Sleep now, held by the earth, shielded by the heavens, and at peace with the silent, beautiful reality of our home. Chapter 7. The Cosmic Clockwork. As we settle into the profound security of the Earth's invisible shields, I want you to feel the deep, rhythmic pulse of the universe. In the previous chapter, we explored the hidden forces that protect us. But now, we must look at how those forces participate in a much larger, more ancient design. We are moving from the shield to the gears, the cosmic clockwork that governs the movement of every star, every planet, and every breath you take. Imagine the solar system not as a collection of isolated objects, but as a single, interconnected mechanism of exquisite precision. Everything is in motion, yet nothing is in conflict. The Earth's rotation, which carries you through your day and night, is just one small gear in a massive celestial engine. As you lie in the stillness of your room, try to visualize the sheer scale of this clockwork. The sun sits at the center, its massive gravity acting as the mainspring, holding the planets in their specific, timed orbits. This motion is not a frantic race. It is a slow, dignified glide through the dark. The Earth takes exactly 365 days to complete its circuit. This timing is so consistent that for thousands of years, humans have based their lives, their harvests, and their very civilizations upon it. But the clockwork goes deeper than just years and seasons. It is reflected in the way the moon influences the tides of our oceans, pulling the water back and forth in a predictable, soothing rhythm. Just as the tide retreats and returns, your own energy has its peaks and its valleys. Tonight, you are in the valley, the quiet, low tide of your day, where the cosmic gears have turned you away from the noise and toward the restorative silence. Consider the precision required for such a system to remain stable for 4.5 billion years. It is a balance between the outward momentum of the planets and the inward pull of the Sunday. If the gears were to slip even slightly, the harmony would vanish. But the laws of physics are the most reliable witnesses we have. They do not tire, they do not forget. Gravity remains constant. Inertia remains true. This means that as you close your eyes, you can trust the universe to keep moving. You do not need to keep watch. The clockwork will continue to turn without your supervision, ensuring that the stars remain in their places and that the sun will find its way back to your horizon when the time is right. Let this sense of order wash over you. In a world that can often feel chaotic and unpredictable, the sky offers a different story. It is a story of absolute reliability. Every planet you see in the night sky is following a path that was laid out at the dawn of time. They move with a grace that produces no friction, no heat, and no sound. It is a silent symphony, a dance of giants that requires no effort from those of us who ride upon their surfaces. As you breathe in, imagine you are breathing in the cadence of this cosmic engine. Your heart beats in a rhythm that is a microcosm of the orbital cycles above. You are a small, precious part of this grand design. The same laws that guide the furthest galaxy are the same laws that keep your blood flowing and your lungs expanding. There is no separation. You are a gear within a gear, perfectly fitted into the tapestry of the whole. This realization brings with it a profound release of responsibility. If the entire universe can manage its own complex movements with such effortless perfection, surely you can allow yourself this moment of total surrender. You are being carried by a system that has never failed. You are cradled in the mechanics of eternity. As we drift further into the heart of this celestial machinery, we begin to see that the clockwork is not just about motion, It is about the very substance of reality. The gears are not made of cold metal, but of the very stardust and energy we have traced throughout our journey. And as the rhythm of the clockwork lulls you closer to the edge of sleep, we prepare to look at the most intimate part of the story, the way this vast, mechanical universe eventually becomes the soft, living world we touch every day. We move now from the grand scales of planetary orbits and gravitational cycles toward the gentle, breathing skin of our world. The clockwork has brought us to this moment of peace, and now it leads us toward the realization that the universe isn't just out there among the stars, it is right here, in the very atoms of your being. As the gears turn silently in the dark, we transition from the cold beauty of physics to the warm reality of life, where the cosmic journey finally finds its rest in the quietest corners of the earth. Chapter 8. The Alchemy of You. As we move away from the massive gears of the cosmic clockwork, I want you to bring your attention back to the very space you occupy. We have traveled across billions of miles and billions of years, but the most profound mystery of the Earth isn't found in the height of the stars or the depth of the core. It is found in the palm of your hand. In the previous chapters, we saw how the great recycler moves matter through the world, but now we must look at how that matter became you. Imagine the atoms that make up your body as tiny, ancient travelers. They are the same atoms we saw being forged in the hearts of dying stars and gathered in the primordial dust clouds of Chapter 2. But they haven't just been sitting still. For billions of years, these atoms have been part of a grand, planetary relay race. The carbon in your DNA may have once been locked inside a diamond deep in the mantle, or perhaps it was part of the breath of a creature that lived in a world where the continents were still one single landmass. You are not just living on the Earth, you are a temporary, beautiful gathering of the Earth itself. Visualize the sheer effort the universe has put into your existence. Every element heavier than hydrogen required a star to live, to age, and to explode. The iron that carries oxygen through your veins, giving you life and warmth, was created in the final seconds of a supernova. You are, quite literally, made of the embers of the cosmos. As you lie there, feel the connection between your pulse and the pulse of the planet. Your body is a vessel of recycled starlight, organized into a form that can feel, think, and dream. This is the ultimate expression of the great recycler. The universe didn't just want to create rocks and gas. It wanted to create a way to experience itself. Consider the minerals resting in your bones. They are the same minerals that form the great mountain ranges and the vast tectonic plates. There is no fundamental difference between the chemistry of the world and the chemistry of your heart. When you rest your head on your pillow, it is simply one part of the earth resting against another. This realization should strip away any sense of isolation or loneliness. You belong here. You are a native of this sanctuary. The invisible embrace of gravity and magnetism that we explored isn't just protecting a rock, it is protecting the delicate alchemy that allows you to breathe. Let this thought act as a final, gentle anchor. You are part of an unbroken chain of matter and energy that stretches back to the very beginning. Nothing that makes you you is new. It is all ancient, tested, and enduring. You are made of the stuff that survives the birth and death of galaxies. If the atoms within you have survived the furnace of a star and the collision of planets, they can certainly carry you through a single night of rest. As you drift closer to the threshold of sleep, the distinction between you and the world begins to soften. You are a wave in the ocean, a leaf on the tree, a spark in the dark. The earth is breathing through you, turning with you, and holding you fast. The complexity of the cosmic clockwork has simplified into this one quiet moment of being. But even as we recognize our own place in this material story, we must remember that we do not stand alone. We are part of a delicate web, a biological and geological masterpiece that exists only because the conditions were just right. We move now from the atoms of your body to the cradle that holds them, the final realization of what it means to live in a world that was perfectly prepared for your arrival. Our journey is leading us now to the final horizon, where the physical facts of the earth meet the dreamy silence of the night. We move from the alchemy of the elements to the ultimate peace of the Goldilocks sanctuary, where the story of the earth finally transitions from a journey of science into a journey of pure, restorative rest. Chapter 9. The Rhythm of the Living Skin. As the deep, ancient alchemy of your atoms settles into your awareness, let us drift upward from the microscopic and the elemental toward the surface of our world. We have explored the bones of the planet and the furnace of the stars, but now we must listen to the breathing skin of the earth, the thin, vibrant layer where the cosmic journey finally meets the soft reality of life. In the previous chapter, we saw how you are a gathering of stardust. Now, we see the garden in which that stardust has chosen to bloom. Imagine the Earth not as a static map of continents and oceans, but as a living, pulsing organism. From this height, the boundaries of countries vanish, replaced by the rhythmic movement of the seasons. This is the great recycler in its most visible form. As the Earth tilts on its axis, that gentle, stabilizing lean we discussed in the clockwork of the heavens, the planet inhales and exhales on a global scale. In the spring, the northern hemisphere inhales, drawing carbon from the air as billions of leaves unfurl in a silent, green explosion. In the autumn, it exhales, releasing that energy back into the soil to sleep and wait. Visualize the vast forests of the world as the planet's lungs. Close your eyes and imagine the deep, damp silence of the Amazon or the ancient, snow-dusted pines of the taiga. These are not just collections of trees, they are cosmic filters, cleaning the air you are breathing right now. The oxygen entering your lungs is a gift from this global rhythm. Every breath you take is a direct connection to a forest thousands of miles away, a silent handshake between you and the living skin of the world. There is a profound peace in realizing that you are supported by a system so much larger than yourself, a system that has been refining itself for millions of years just to keep this moment possible. Now, let your mind wander to the great oceans, the blue veins of our sanctuary. Water is the blood of the earth, carrying warmth from the equator to the frozen poles, regulated by the same gravitational tug of the moon that we explored earlier. Imagine the deep, slow currents of the Atlantic, moving like a massive conveyor belt beneath the waves. This water has traveled through every corner of the globe. It has been a cloud over the Himalayas, a dewdrop on a desert flower, and a snowflake on a silent mountain peak. As you lie in the stillness, imagine the humidity in the air around you as a tiny fragment of that vast, wandering ocean, currently resting in the room with you. This living skin is incredibly delicate, yet it is held together by the invisible embrace of the forces we've studied. The atmosphere, that thin blue veil, is all that stands between the lush, breathing garden of Earth and the silent, freezing vacuum of space. It is a shield of air, weighted down by gravity, thick enough to protect us but thin enough to let the sun's life-giving light reach the soil. Feel the pressure of that air against your skin, a gentle, constant reminder that you are being cradled. You are not floating away into the void. You are being tucked in by the planet's own weight. Every sound you hear, the distant hum of a city, the rustle of a curtain, the rhythm of your own heart is carried by this air. In the vacuum of space, there is only silence. But here, in the sanctuary, the universe has a voice. It speaks through the wind, the rain, and the quiet rustle of the living world. This is the ultimate luxury of our placement in the Goldilocks Zone. We are in a place where vibration can become music, and where breath can become life. As you drift further into this sense of connection, realize that the Earth's surface is a place of constant, gentle transition. The day is always turning into night. The summer is always turning into autumn. There is no permanence, only flow. This flow is what allows for renewal. It is why you can leave the burdens of today behind. Just as the forest sheds its leaves to prepare for a new spring, you can shed the thoughts of the day to prepare for a new morning. The earth does not ask you to carry the weight of your life forever. It provides a night so that you can let the weight fall away into the soil. You are resting now on the very surface of this miracle. The living skin of the world is beneath you, supporting you, breathing with you. The vastness of the cosmos is still out there, turning in its grand clockwork. But here, in the cradle, everything is soft. Everything is intimate. The stardust has found a home in the soil, the water has found a home in the sea, and you have found a home in this quiet moment. As we conclude this contemplation of the living world, we find ourselves at the edge of the final horizon. The facts of the earth have led us to the threshold of sleep. We move now from the breathing skin of the planet to the silent interior of the mind, where the journey of the cosmos becomes the journey of your dreams. The rhythm of the world is slowing down for you. The forest is quiet, the ocean is calm, and the air is still. We move now toward the final piece, where the Earth's story ends and yours in the deep, restorative dark begins. Chapter 10. The final descent into stillness. As the rhythm of the Earth's living skin fades into a quiet, steady hum, we arrive at the final destination of our long journey. We have traveled from the fiery hearts of ancient stars to the cool, protective embrace of our magnetic shields. We have witnessed the gathering of dust, the unfelt speeds of our orbit, and the delicate alchemy that turns stardust into the very breath you take. But now, the time for discovery is over. The time for travel has come to an end. It is time to let the story of the world become the silence of your own rest. Imagine the earth as it is right now, beneath the heavy, velvet curtain of night. Thousands of miles away, the sun is illuminating other lands, other cities, and other lives. But here, where you are, the light has retreated, leaving behind a world that is soft, grey, and quiet. This shadow we are in is not an empty space. It is a gift from the cosmic clockwork. It is the planet's way of turning you away from the demands of the external world and toward the peace of your internal one. In the deep dark of the night, the great recycler doesn't stop, but it slows its pace. The leaves in the forest stop their active breathing. The birds tuck their heads beneath their wings, and the very air seems to cool and settle, as if the earth itself is taking a slow, deep exhale. Feel your body sinking even further into the surface beneath you. In the previous chapters, we spoke of gravity as a silent embrace. Now, let that embrace be complete. You no longer need to hold on to the facts of the universe. You don't need to remember the speeds, the distances, or the names of the ancient elements. Those truths are woven into the fabric of your being. They are working for you, protecting you, and carrying you without any effort on your part. You can let go of the narration. You can let go of the imagery. Like a leaf falling from a tree in the autumn of the living skin, let your thoughts drift down, spiraling slowly through the dark until they rest quietly on the floor of your mind. The Goldilocks Sanctuary is not just a place in space. It is a state of being. It is this moment, right here, where the temperature is just right, the blankets are soft, and the world is safe. The invisible embrace of the magnetosphere is still standing guard high above, deflecting the solar winds while you dream. The core of the earth is still turning, providing the foundation for your stability. But for you, the traveler, the engines have been cut. You are drifting on momentum now, the gentle, lingering momentum of a journey well spent. Look up one last time with your mind's eye. See the stars that gave you birth. They are not distant, cold points of light. They are your ancestors, watching over the sapphire cradle as it glides through the night. They have seen the birth and death of eons, and they see you now, a precious, temporary gathering of their own light. There is no hurry. There is no tomorrow yet. There is only the long, beautiful stretch of the dark. The cosmic journey has brought you home, not just to the planet Earth, but to the center of your own peace. The rhythm of your breathing has become the rhythm of the world, a slow, steady tide that carries you away from the shore of wakefulness and into the deep, restorative ocean of sleep. The story is complete. The stars are silent, the earth is turning, and you are finally at rest. Good night, fellow traveler. Sleep well in the heart of the cosmos. The return to the infinite cradle. Our long journey through the history and hidden wonders of our world has finally come to its softest conclusion. We have seen the Earth as a fiery seed in a cloud of stardust, a traveler gliding through the unfelt speeds of the heavens, and a sanctuary shielded by invisible hands. But now, as the last echoes of these cosmic truths settle in your mind, I want you to feel the most important truth of all. You are home. The vast distances we've covered and the billions of years we've traveled have all led back to this single, quiet room. The story of the Earth is not something that happened far away or long ago. It is something that is happening within you, right now. As you lie in the stillness, realize that the planet is not just beneath you, it is holding you. It is carrying you through the velvet dark with a precision that has never faltered. You do not need to keep watch over the stars, nor do you need to worry about the turning of the world. The same forces that guide the galaxies are currently tending to your rest. Take one last, slow breath. Feel the weight of your body as a gift of gravity, a gentle anchor that keeps you safe and secure. The night is deep now, and the world has grown silent. The great recycler continues its quiet work in the shadows. The invisible embrace remains your faithful guardian, and the cosmic clockwork turns with a rhythmic hum that serves as your final lullaby. There is nothing left to understand. There is nothing left to do. The sapphire marble continues its elegant drift through the stars, and you are a passenger in its most comfortable cabin. Let the boundary between your thoughts and the quiet air around you disappear. You are dissolving into the restorative peace of the sanctuary we have explored together. You are safe. You are cherished by the very laws of the universe. In a few moments, my voice will fade away, leaving you with only the soft, ambient heartbeat of the cosmos. But even in the silence, the journey continues. As you sleep, you will travel millions of miles through the starlight. As you dream, your atoms will continue their ancient dance. And when the sun eventually returns to your side of the world, you will wake refreshed, renewed by the same energy that fuels the stars. Until then, let the darkness be your blanket. Let the stillness be your guide. The cradle is rocking, the universe is watching, and everything is exactly as it should be. Sleep now. Drift away into the deep, beautiful mystery of the night. Good night, traveler. Good night.